wrote matric in 1985. I'm not sure if some of you were born by then. Yeah. So 1986, I think that was 22nd of July, 1986. I started joining employment. Doing a sub in, I started working there. 22nd of July, 1986, as a security officer. I worked as a security officer for 10 years. One day, in 1992, whilst I was working night duty, I think something whispered in my ears, you don't belong here. Then I started enrolling at the Technical. I did my national diploma, public administration. The fall after qualifying for that national high diploma, public administration, I was still a security. I graduated twice in the security. Then in 1996, transformation, democracy. Then I got appointed. I've never been a clerk. I moved from security to an assistant admin office. Okay. Then, God's way working miracle. I got promoted in July in Nabo in procurement. I was supervising the person who made me to go to school. Not in a positive way, because he abused me.
No way.
He treated me. And I said to myself, I think that's where I learned to transform the negative environment into my advantage of a positive one. Because thereafter I said, I cannot stay like this under these circumstances. Then I went to school. So when I got promoted, I found him being a clerk in that department. I supervised him.
Look at God.
Yeah, I supervised him. Then that was July, no? August, there was a post in Bishop. I applied, Ndogombana building, those who know it. Then got promoted in September. Same year. That is July. Only August, September, I started in Bishop as an admin office. Tenders and all that, we were doing that. I saw a post in September whilst I was in Bishop. I applied into interviews in October, November. Before I went on December leave, I got my letter, promotional letter, as a senior admin officer in Khafel. Now, within you can calculate from July up to December. That's 6 months now. I was promoted 3 times. I was promoted 3 times. Then I started working in Khafel in grants. That's where I met Sokpen in 1996. Mm-hmm. You see, I think I started there. It was January 1996. No, 1997. January 1997. So I worked there up to December 1999. So I went back. I came back to PE. So the department that I started working, it was Livingston Hospital as a security. So I moved back to Livingston. I still found my former colleagues, security officer, still there. I decided to do my master's. You see, I'm heading supervising these guys. I worked there for 1 year, yeah. Then there was a post in George, Department of Health. So I applied for the post. It was an assistant director, training and development. I think that was 2000, yeah, 2000 when I got promoted again to work in George. So I stayed there for a year. I came back to graduate for my master's, went back to George. Then I stayed there for 12 months. Then I got promoted as an area manager in Department of Justice in PE. So I came back in PE. Yeah, so I stayed there for 12 years. 1st of January 2016, I came back to SARS. Yeah, I came back to SARS, and strange enough, when I came back, there were people, some of you might have seen me in papers, thinking that I don't know grants. I got promoted as a horse, yet I worked about 2 years. I enrolled for my PhD in 2022. Then I graduated the following year because I did my thesis. It was approved within 2 months. Then I did my research. It was approved. Then my thesis was there. One day, I like when people criticize you and negative vibes. That's when they give me energy to move and think about my life. You see, I then decided, man, life is not about SARS. There's life outside SARS. So I decided to convert my thesis into a book. So I published my first book. Yeah, I've got two. I wrote 2 books. They are in my car. I've got copies if you want them. I wrote 2 books. The first one, it was my thesis was effective, efficient ways of paying social grants. That was my thesis. Now I converted that into my first book, which it was new ways of paying social grants. And that was the time when we had a problem with post office. If you remember the post office story, the easy pay who didn't want to release or call, and that was a grey period. There was panic in the country. Then I decided to research about alternative ways of paying social grants. And then I took that, applied to the department to conduct a research on that. It was approved. Then I did some research. And thanks to the colleagues of SASA, because those were my target groups in terms of doing the research. So yeah, I concluded that one. Then it was published and is in circulation. People can go through bookstores. They will find that if you don't want to come to me, but I still have copies. And then I decided, man, I let me invest my time because I felt in love now with writing. Then I wrote the second book, Poverty and Inequality Resolutions. So I'm the author of 2 books. I'm currently busy writing my autobiography, which currently is in process. I'm hoping by because I'm not under pressure on that one. I'm hoping by April next year it will be published. So yes, okay, thanks. So yeah, so I'm the author of 2 books. They are in circulation. My website www.tembagola.co.za. You can get there. You can get my story there. Yeah. So I think that's my story.